Madison Reedy is joining me in the studio to talk business. Reserve Bank is worried about the future of cash, as in what, we're not going to use it anymore, it's just going to be cards and other means of paying?
Well, people are already going that way. I mean, I don't know if you own any cash, but when we were doing this story today, I opened my wallet and I had not one coin in sight, but my colleague had plenty. So you know who to go to if you ever need to buy coffee. But yeah, look, the Reserve Bank has been looking at this for a while now. And today it actually released a public consultation paper on this whole idea of the future of cash. Now, within this paper, it did say that the number of ATMs from the country's 5 largest banks has actually reduced 8% in the years from 2010 to 2017. Now, it also said that the Reserve Bank is just one cog in the big cash machine. The Reserve Bank, its job is obviously to print and distribute cash around the country, but there's also banks that are involved and also retailers who obviously accept cash and then give it back out as change, and also armoured trucks who are the ones that drive cash around the country too. Now, this consultation paper from the Reserve Bank, they concluded that there really is no steward of the cash system. So really no one is looking after it to ensure that there is a future of cash. Now, they say that they want a change to the Reserve Bank Act, which is the legislation that they operate under, to give it the power to ensure that cash does actually have a future. Now, they want to be able to force retail banks to be to have to allow people to withdraw and accept cash as well, so that if you or I ever want to get $20 out, then we can, that there should be an ATM nearby. They also mentioned, though, that there is actually no law forcing any seller of goods to accept cash, even though it is legal tender. They say that's a problem, but not their problem, so they're not asking for that one to be changed under their law. So basically, the Reserve Bank wants to control accessibility, but not acceptability, even though it does think that that's important. Now, the Deputy Governor of the Reserve Bank, Christian Hawkesby, he says that while consumers are increasingly using digital payment solutions these days, there is still support for cash.
The feedback that we've had is that people are using, we know from data that people are using cash less as a form of payment, but people are actually continuing to hold cash and if anything, are holding more cash than previously. And what we're finding is that there are still pockets of society that are still quite reliant on cash. Particularly those that are financially excluded, those that aren't digitally savvy, the very young, the very old. There's still many sort of cultural issues around using cash that means it continues to be used. So that's the feedback that we're getting about use of cash at the moment.
That's Christian Hawkesby from the Reserve Bank.
Okay, I want to know, Maddie, from people. They can get in touch, text us on 2101. I want to know if you still carry cash in your wallet and give us an idea of what age you are.
Do you still carry cash, Lisa?
Well, yeah, I feel naked if I don't have just a small amount of cash, because sometimes people don't take cash. So
I'm such a millennial, aren't I?
But I wouldn't carry large amounts of cash,
No,
but
just
use cards. But I always feel like I need a couple of coins on hand. Okay, let's move on to the survey of retailers who says shops are here to stay. Well, this is another bricks and mortar versus online, I suppose, is it?
Yeah, this story is pretty much in keeping with the previous one. So this was a survey conducted by Massey University. Now, they say that despite the rise in online shopping and online payments, bricks and mortar retail is not dying. In fact, retailers actually see physical stores as an increasingly important way to show off their brand to consumers. And they actually think that bricks and mortar retail stores are not just about sales anymore, but it's actually about the in-store experience that they're providing. Now, that actually does ring pretty true with the amount of international brands that we have seen launch in New Zealand recently. Makeup stores like Sephora, other ones that I frequent probably far too often are the clothing stores H&M and Zara, and also IKEA and Costco on their way as well. Also, the number of physical stores that are under development.
I'm smiling at you, Maddie, because you say it's like an experience. Some people would say that's an horror experience with massive queues and a heaving throng of people as you rustle through, stock. Anyway, do carry on.
Depends who you are, but I personally think, on a rainy day, what else better to do than, go and spend your hard-earned money. And so, as I was saying about these physical stores, we do have a number under development, big multi-billion-dollar developments too. Obviously, the one in Auckland's Newmarket being built by Westfield, and also Commercial Bay in downtown Auckland too. Hundreds of brands, particularly international brands, are lined up to launch flagship stores there too.
Interesting. Let's do a quick whip around the markets. What else has been going on?
The NZX Top 50 Index closed down 0.4% tonight, so that's a fall of 45 points to close at 10,951. The New Zealand dollar, that's buying at 62.5 US cents, 93 to the Aussie and 50.9 British pence.
Thanks, Maddie. Madison Reedy with our business wrap.